Good evening, class. This is Ron. This is my presentation for Leadership 501. For North House, I was assigned Chapter 13, which goes over leadership ethics. The difference in this chapter, as far as all the other chapters that we kind of went over, this chapter doesn't really focus on one central theme of leadership, but whether it's more of the values, the virtues, why people do what they do, why leaders make decisions they make, and kind of the ethics behind that. So kind of we're going to go into that a little bit, and I think it's important when you're going through some kind of like a summary of this to kind of give the overarching. I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own definition of ethics and kind of what that means for them, what that looks like. But straight out of the book from Northouse, he describes it, it says like ethics is concerned with the kinds of values, morals an individual or society finds desirable or appropriate. And then furthermore, ethics is concerned with the virtuousness of individuals and their motives. So basically, I was saying earlier, it's values, why you do what you do, why that person chose to do that. And kind of that would be, I think, the overarching theme of ethics, and ethical leadership, and kind of like leadership ethics, like we, as we are learning more and more about leadership and kind of how we are going to do our own leadership, I think we all are concerned with the ethics of why we do what we do. If you choose to say a certain thing or have something when you go out at an employee of yours, or someone that you're working for, or someone that you're leading, or your followers, or you gotta remember your values, your ethics behind it. So so for me, that as I kind of go into a little bit of my own life and kind of as a coach, certain decisions that I make every day, with whether that be with the kids, how I talk to the kids, how I show them respect, how I let the kids know that, hey, I'm listening to you, hey, I'm hearing you. That all has to do with my ethics. I'm not gonna go out there and badmouth a kid over and over again, because I know that that's not the way I am. So I think that's a little intro into the leadership ethics and kind of the ethics of as ethics defined. And I think three important things that you get right in the beginning of the chapter, and I think these are really important as you set up more and more of the chapter, are pre-conventional, or three levels of morality. Level 1, pre-conventional morality. Level 2 is conventional morality. And finally, last but not least, level 3 is post-conventional morality. I think, so we'll start at the top, kind of break those all down a little bit. Hope you guys have a better understanding of kind of what those are, kind of how they're used in the ethics of leadership. So level 1, pre-conventional morality, and kind of, I think, the definition for it in the book is reasoning based on self-interest. So avoiding punishment and rewards. So I think, it's self-explanatory as far as what avoiding punishment is. If I'm someone that, that all I do, everything I do is so I don't get punished, just make sure I do the right thing so I don't get punished. I'll make sure I do that, I don't want to get punished. So basically, and then it's kind of it's more of self-interest. Like, you would think that person over there is not doing this because they're concerned with how it's going to affect me. They're concerned with how it's going to affect them. And if they don't do it correct, if they got to make sure they do it right, so they don't get, that. So they don't get, no one comes down on them. For them, that's the most important thing. So I think it's important to remember those type of things when it comes to that. And then we have, they have like the stages. So like a good example, it's like, I follow the rules so I don't get hurt. It's just like in football, we tell them, don't hit with your head, don't lead with your head. So they're gonna follow that, not because they care about the health of the other football player they're about to tackle, but because they care about the safety and the health of their head. What can happen? Some guys do, hopefully more will in the future. For stage two of this theory, you think of individualism and exchange. Um, so basically, it says like, you know, I will do a favor for you if you do one for me. I mean, that's the simplest one. As you know, as kids, I'm pretty sure we've all done that at some point in our lives. Hey, look, I want some of that candy. Um, if you give me that, I'll give you this, and boom, we're in. Now we just made a switch, and it's gonna work out because I got this candy that you want, you got something I want. Let's make a switch, make a bargain. So I do something for you, do something for me. So, and then we have level 2, which is conventional morality. I think this is more of a like kind of the world today. It'd be kind of like social media. It'd be kind of like people following, the celebs they see on TV, on the reality shows, on different things like that. And that kind of, takes them and makes them do what they do. So you think about it, basically what the definition straight from the book, this is Northouse, page 331, sorry. It's reasoning based on society's views and expectations. So kind of what society expects me to do, and whatever that is, I have to make sure I uphold that standard. So that I could, so I could work to achieve that. Because I think that, that's just kind of what they look for. So and this is stage 3. So basically, another thing that I forgot to mention earlier is these all go in like a sequential, like an order. So from pre-conventional morality as level 1, as stage 1, stage 2, as we do conventional morality as stage 3. This is interpersonal accord and conformity. I try to be good and do what others expect of me. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to do good. I guess when it comes to doing what others expect of you, that could be where it gets a little tricky, a little gray areas in that, because, you never want to get too caught up in what others' opinions of you are, and making decisions based on them, making decisions based on what they think. Those are things that can, not help. Like, lead you on a downward spiral there, based on your decisions. Like, you're never doing things that because of you, where you value them. Stage 4, maintain the social order. I follow the rules and support the laws of society. I think this one's kind of a tricky one. Obviously, no one wants to sit here and break rules all day, and not follow rules of society. But I think if you put this inside of our context, this is kids doing other things that are not good because other kids are doing them. They don't mess with that pecking order. They're just not getting friends. They're just not getting comfortable. They don't want to screw that up. So I think that kind of goes with that a little bit. I mean, it's hard to remember that, but these kids are kids, and at the same time they want to try to make sure that kids, and even my athletes, these are grown men that are doing the same thing because they want to make sure that they keep that same status they have. So basically, naturally, we have post-conventional morality, which is another one. This is stage 5 and stage 6. This is reasoning based on conscience and creating a just society. I think this one's now we're getting to more where you're like, okay, I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I'm really taking my time. We're trying to figure out, hey, is this what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm doing it. Stage 5 is social contract and individual rights. I work with others to do what's best for all of us. Now, at first it was more individualized, and as you can see, it gets to stage 5 now. Now you're worried about everyone, the collective group that you're working for and working with. So I think that's important. Stage 6, universal principles. I act out of my internalized and universal principle of justice. I think with that one, it's like now you're starting to internally think about these things. I think both of them are, as we get down to post-conventional morality, they're both you're doing more self-thinking, more self-thought, which is important because, you can do all these things for other people, but at the same time, that's going to come back and get you at some point because you're going to think, hey, what did I want to do in that situation? How could I have done that better? So I think that's kind of the overall arching the summary and kind of objective of this chapter.